मुदाकरात्तमोदकं सदा विमुक्तिसाधकम् मुदाकरात्तमोदकं सदा विमुक्तिसाधकं कलाधरावतंसकं विलासिलोकरक्षकम् अनायकैकनायकं विनाशिते भदैत्यकम् अनायकैकनायकं विनाशिते भदैत्यकं नताशुभाशुनाशकं नमामि तं विनायकम् नमामि तं विनायकम् तेतरातिभीकरं नवोदितार्कभास्वरम् न तेतरातिभीकरं नवोदितार्कभास्वरं न मत्सुरारिनिर्जरं न ताधिकापदुद्धरम् सुरेश्वरं निधीश्वरं गजेश्वरं गणेश्वरम् सुरेश्वरं निधीश्वरं गजेश्वरं गणेश्वरं महेश्वरं तमाश्रये परात्परं निरन्तरम् परात्परं निरन्तरम् समस्तलोकशङ्करं निरस्तदैत्यकुञ्जरम् समस्तलोकशङ्करं निरस्तदैत्यकुञ्जरं दरेतरोदरं वरं वरे भवत्रमक्षरम् कृपाकरं क्षमाकरं मुदाकरं यशस्करम् कृपाकरं क्षमाकरं मुदाकरं यशस्करं मनस्करं नमस्कृतं नमस्करोमि भास्वरम् नमस्करोमि भास्वरम् अकिञ्चनार्तिमार्जनं चिरन्तनोक्तिभाजनम् अकिञ्चनार्तिमार्जनं चिरन्तनोक्तिभाजनं पुरारिपूर्वनन्दनं सुरारिगर्भचर्वणम् प्रपञ्चनाशभीषणं धनञ्जयादिभूषणम् प्रपञ्चनाशभीषणं धनञ्जयादिभूषणं कपोलदानवारणं भजे पुराणवारणम् भजे पुराणवारणम् नितान्तकान्तदन्तकान्तिमन्तकान्तकात्मजम् नितान्तकान्तदन्तकान्तिमन्तकान्तकात्मजम् अचिन्त्यरूपमन्तहीनमन्तरायकृन्तनम् हृदन्तरे निरन्तरं वसन्तमेव योगिनाम् हृदन्तरे निरन्तरं वसन्तमेव योगिनां तमेकदन्तमेव तं विचिन्तयामि सन्ततम् विचिन्तयामि सन्ततम् महागणेश पञ्चरत्नमादरेण योऽन्वहम् महागणेश पञ्चरत्नमादरेण योऽन्वहं प्रजल्पति प्रभातके हृदि स्मरन् गणेश्वरम् अरोगतामदोषतां सुसाहितीं सुपुत्रताम् अरोगतामदोषतां सुसाहितीं सुपुत्रतां समाहितायुरष्टभूतिमभ्युपैति सोचिरात् समाहितायुरष्टभूतिमभ्युपैति सोचिरात् इति श्रीशङ्कर भगवतः कृतौ श्रीगणेशपञ्चरत्नस्तोत्रम् सम्पूर्णम्। मुदाकरात्तमोदकं सदा विमुक्तिसाधकम् मुदाकरात्तमोदकं सदा विमुक्तिसाधकं कलाधरावतंसकं विलासिलोकरक्षकम् अनायकैकनायकं विनाशिते भदैत्यकम् अनायकैकनायकं विनाशिते भदैत्यकं नताशुभाशुनाशकं नमामि तं विनायकम् नमामि तं विनायकम्।
Yeah, it should be fixed now. I hope I'm audible on YouTube as well. If we can have a voice not audible, Chaitanya ji, yes. Okay, perfect. Now it is audible. Let me reduce the latency a little bit. No, I can't change it now. All right. Well, welcome everyone to the live stream on Ganesha Pancharatnam. This is, as many of you might know, a short Stotram, as Stotras go. It's not even 8 or 6 shlokas. Forget about 100 or 1000. This is just 5 shlokas. But those 5 are so beautiful and so potent that Adi Shankaracharya chose to call them jewels. So these 5 jewels that you see here, which are on Lord Ganesha, we're going to master over the course of this live stream. Let's see how far we can get to it. And we are 2 minutes into the stream. We'll not wait like we usually do for 3-4 minutes until we start. Let's get started. Before going into this particular stotram, last year or the year before that, on the occasion of Ganeshchaturthi itself, I had made a complete playlist teaching individual shlokas, dhyana shlokas that can be used to meditate upon the forms for these 32 different expressions of Lord Ganesha. So you can find this whole playlist like it's seen there, and you can learn all of these shlokas. Each of these forms have a name, and they have a specific purpose, and you can use this short URL bit.ly/TSC, the Sanskrit channel, -G Ganesha 32. Yes. Nidhi ji, Zoom old password does not work. Yes, the old password for Padavali has been Krida. For this particular live stream, I had changed the password. You can find it on Patreon and YouTube as well. And if you are in the Telegram channel, you can find it there as well. And welcome. I see there are a lot of new members. There was some confusion also between the different tiers. A lot of people asked, do I really need to pay so much for the Zoom sessions? Currently as it exists, yes. But even in the beginner tier, you have hundreds of members only videos that you can watch exclusively on the channel. So there is good value even in the first level of memberships. But if you want to come join us on Zoom, there are different levels of memberships. That's how YouTube platform works and Patreon works. So yes, please check the membership levels and the accesses that you have. And if you are in the third tier memberships and above, you can find the password to join our Zoom link. Or if you can get creative to guess what the password might be, the Zoom link is public in the description anyway. If you can get creative and figure out what the password might be, it is a Sanskrit word. Every time we have a Zoom session, it is a Sanskrit word. People who are already in the Zoom call know what the password is. But if you can guess it, it's not too hard to guess. You are in. So let's see if anybody comes there. But Nidhi ji, specifically for you, you can find it. Yes. Thavaranji, yes. For basic memberships, there are hundreds of members only videos. All of them are accessible to you. You can watch those. Nidhi ji, yes, see you soon. The Zoom link is in the description, but this session anyway is open to all. It's public. So pay attention to this session instead of trying to figure out what the password is throughout the session. With that, do check this playlist out. This link is also in the description. So as we approach Ganesh Chaturthi, you could go through these different forms, and if you are so inclined, you can make the Ganesha at your home based on one of these forms as well. I personally am choosing the last one, the 32nd form. I'll make a reel on it soon. It's almost done. So with that, before we start delving into the descriptions of what Adi Shankaracharya is saying about Ganesha, it is important to get the entire context of what our approach towards the divine itself is. By our, I mean in Sanatana Dharma, in Hinduism as a way of life. We have stories, and how many stories they are, and how vivid, how diverse. So these stories are metaphorical, and they represent something which is much more abstract, which is much harder to grasp intellectually. These are expressed through very beautiful, very dramatic at many times stories. And so if they are just stories, are they not true? It's not like that. They are true, and they're also metaphorical. So if somebody wants to see that it is an elephant-faced god sitting on a rat and moving on around, it is you are at that, you have that complete liberty to do that. But if you see that it is not logical and there could be something more metaphorical behind it, you are right as well. It is something much more abstract, much more harder to intellectually conceptualize. So that is why all these secrets of creation, the most common example of all of this exact phenomena being the Dashavatas, where Lord Vishnu comes again and again taking different forms on earth from Matsya Avatara to Kurma Varaha, that is the progression in which life on this planet itself has evolved. That is the same metaphor in which Shiva and Shakti, as the you know parents of all of creation, as the mother and father of all of creation, represent the emptiness of space, the energy that is manifest as matter within it. If you look at that entire Shiva Parivara, the family of Shiva, there is this beautiful story which is also very popular, that all of their vahanas, the animals that are associated with them, are natural predators and prey of each other. Shiva has a snake, there is a Kartikeya or Subramanya has a peacock. Peacock is a natural predator of a snake. Devi Parvati, Shakti, has a tiger, and Shiva again has a bull. A tiger is a predator of the bull. And Nandi, of course, Ganesha, of course, has a rat, which is at kind of the bottom of the food chain for both of these creatures. So, if you look at it, there is enormous scope for conflict within, but they all are related to each other, and there is a harmony in that story itself. So, it's very important when we are looking at the descriptions that Adi Shankaracharya describes Lord Ganesha in, that we simultaneously are aware of these three levels of interpretation of who Ganesha is. The most logical is that he is the deity, he is the energy that is present within all of us at Mooladhara. He is the deity of Mooladhara Chakra. That is the most logical way of looking at it, that we want to access this energy, we want to unlock its full potential. So we worship Ganesha externally so that we can energize ourselves within at the Mooladhara Chakra, at the base of the spine. So he is the first to worship because that is where the journey starts, at the base of the spine. And from there, the entire journey of a sadhaka is from the base of the spine to the peak of the spine, which is the Sahasrara Chakra, where the seat of the divine is said to be. So that is very, very logical. It makes sense that, of course, if you want to start your journey, you worship Ganesha. So he is the first one to approach and worship. Then there is the more story aspect of it, the fantasy element, where he is, of course, the Ladla, the Pyara son of Shiva and Shakti. And it was just Shakti who made Ganesha from her own dirt on her body and put him as her guard when Shiva was away and she wanted to take a bath in the mountains. So she did not have anybody else to protect her. So she made Ganesha and put him there at the entrance of the cave where she went in to take a bath. You know the story. Then Shiva came. Ganesha did not know that Shiva is the husband of his mother. So he stood there thinking this is some foreign man who has come. And Shiva it's been a long leave of absence from Himalayas. He was away, and there is this young rascal who was in his way to meet his own wife. So he just casually lops his head off. And then Ma Parvati comes crying and then scolds Shiva that he cannot be her husband anymore unless he brings her son back to life. He says, no, that's not how creation works. But she says, nothing doing. And then they bring the head of an elephant which is sleeping towards the north. This whole, the Puranic stories, you all know. But they all again are metaphors for how that energy at the Mooladhara functions, where it comes from, what its nature is, how its attempt is, how if it rises, if it acts out, how its essence is, all of that. And the whole thing, both of these elements, which is Adhyatmika, Atma means the self, how it relates to oneself. Adi Daivika is how it is related to deity forms. Daiva, if we look at these as potent forces of creation and those which govern us, which rule over us, how are they as Devatas, deity forms. And there is also Adhibhautika, which is a much, much more abstract form as how the existence itself is, the nature of creation as it is, where Ganesha corresponds to the earth element. So Parvati taking the dirt off of her skin and trying to pour life into that form. the Ganesha present at the base of the spine, which is the Bhutattva, which corresponds to the earth element, the root sound for which is Lam, and which is the element, earth being the element that is the densest, that gives the most stability, which sets strong foundations. That is why the lowest chakra being called Moola Adhara, Adhara itself meaning support. So all of these three interpretations, these three truths about Ganesha need to be simultaneously remembered. If you have any questions about, oh, how could this happen? Oh, how Adi Shankaracharya is describing him like this? Oh, how is something else happening? Why is he angry? Why is he sad? These kinds of questions, this will always answer you. So we had much more kind of discussions during Saundarya Lahari, where Adi Shankaracharya described the mother goddess's physical beauty. So from the second half of Saundarya Lahari especially, so that is why I just made it members only, so that we don't have to deal with this. In this session also, these kind of questions might come up. So this is a context setting beforehand, that this is the complete picture. So there is something for the mind to understand, there is something for the emotion to latch on to. So heart and mind and brain both need to be alert and alive simultaneously. Then these kind of questions will not pop up. All right. So with that kind of an overarching understanding of who Ganesha is, we come to the structure of the composition itself. I was telling you before that in yesterday's live stream of Padavali, that the father Shiva and his son Ganesha both have their most popular compositions in the exact same rhythm. Their name, why Adi Shankaracharya chose to write this particular composition in this particular rhythm, there is a meaning for that also. There is a reason. It's not just a random selection of rhythms and random compositions that he came up with. These are very, very potent. For Saundarya Lahari, he chose Shikharini. For there is another composition called Bhujanga Prayata, which is some a completely different kind of a rhythm. Here, for this particularly, I'm going to tell you what this rhythm is and tell me what the most popular composition which has the exact same rhythm on Shiva is. How you understand the rhythms of these compositions, first of all, is they are very, very intuitive. You did not analyze them, but there is an analytical method also to derive those rhythms. But if you just read this out, Muda Kara Tamo Dakam Sada Vimukti Sadhakam, you see that there is some kind of a repeating pattern that is occurring. Once again, Muda Kara Tamo Dakam Sada Vimukti Sadhakam. So if it should be very obvious for you now, because you can also see this, but this is something that you can hear as well. This is in the sounds themselves. You need not look at this necessarily, but because of these guides, the dots and the lines, it is very obvious that there is a short syllable and there is a long syllable. There is na 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 na, like that, na 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 na. That is how it's continuing to progress. And the most fascinating part is that every line is in the exact same rhythm. Meaningful, very beautiful poetic ideas in the exact same rhythm. Na 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 na. You see? Sarita Sharma ji is asking if we can get a recording of this. This stream will stay public, Sarita ji. You need not worry about it. If you have any questions also, you can post it in chat. And on Zoom as well, if the participants have any questions, feel free to raise your hand and I can, whichever part of our session. If you have any questions, you can raise your hands. Saraswati ji, welcome. You're new here. Namaskaram. Namaskaram. So feel free to unmute yourself and, I hope this is clear. I'll continue upon it. This is not Bhujanga Prayata. Bhujanga Prayata is something else. Na 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 na. That is Bhujanga Prayata. This is just na 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 na. In Bhujanga Prayata, it is na 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 na. That is the movement of a snake. That movement of a snake, that rhythm is used in very specific compositions for a different purpose. Here, It is nana, 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 nana. You see how it's just long, short, long, short, long, short, long. Mu, short, da, long. Ka, short, ra, long. Ta, short, mo, long. Like that, it keeps going on. The word itself has extremely beautiful poetic imagery, and the sounds are so rich. On top of this, that integrity of rhythm is maintained in all the 5 shlokas. This is 5 plus 1. I just tricked you guys saying it's 5 shlokas. There is one more at the end which talks about what the benefits of chanting this shloka is. All of these 5, I would say, are very, very simple. So this particular rhythm, nana, 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 this is called Panchachamara. Perfect, Janaki ji, that's right. This is called Panchachamaram. Pancha means 5. Chamara has many meanings. One of those meanings is swinging of the ears of an elephant. So that is one of the many, many reasons why he could have chosen Panchachamaram. He chose that meter, Panchachamaram, and called this particular composition Pancharatnam. So Ganesha Pancharatnam is in a poetic meter called Panchachamaram. Think the number 5 is just accidental. And then there are everything, the Pancha Bhutas, there is the Pancha Indriyas, Pancha Pranas, Pancha Koshas of the body. So this number 5, as the creation unfolds, has its presence everywhere. In that logic, the number 3 also has its presence everywhere. The number 7 also has its presence everywhere. But for this particular composition, 5 seems to be the most obvious, most prominent recurring theme. So it would not be too far-fetched. I do not know this by experience, but it would not be too far-fetched to derive that this composition has its correlations with, how the 5 elements function within the body, how the pancha pranas, how the 5 life airs. There is prana, apana, vyana, udana and samana. There is annamaya kosha, manomaya kosha, pranamaya kosha, vijnanamaya kosha and anandamaya kosha, different layers of the physical body. There is pancha indriyas, the sight, smell, taste, hearing and touch. So all of these are in some way definitely impacted by it, is the corollary that can be drawn. And so once again, I don't claim that these are the benefits, but it would make logical sense that the presence of the number 5 is not accidental and it's very, very intentional. With that structure, now that you guys know this structure, even here, see, Kala, Dhara, Vatam, Sakam. I want you to notice the rhythms. So we are now going to look at shlokas one by one. We are going to do it in very, very easy to approach methodology. I will read out the shloka first completely. You just pay attention to it as I'm chanting it. Then we'll learn how to pronounce each and every individual word by splitting the words. We'll not go to the meanings yet. Then we'll do it line by line to see how it is chanted in one go, every line. And then we will look at the meanings of the entire shloka. And at the end, we can chant it one more time. And the next time, at the end when I chant it, we can all do it together. And if you have questions, we can discuss it either in YouTube chat, on Zoom. You can raise your hands and we can discuss it there. Yes? Clear? So, coming to the first shloka of Ganesha Pancharatnam, please pay attention to it as I chant this. Pay attention to the rhythms also, how it is nana, nana, nana in every line, in every instance. Muda karata modakam sada vimukti sadhakam kala dharavatam sakam vilasi loka rakshakam anaya kaika nayakam vinashite bhadaityakam natashu bhashu nashakam namami tam vinayakam. We'll do it line by line, word by word first. The first word is made up of muda, kara, atta, modakam. There are 4 words inside this first word itself. And this is a big compound word. This is called as a samastapada, If there is a samasa that happens of multiple words, if there is a conjunction of multiple words coming together, that phenomena in Sanskrit grammar is called as samasa. So muda, kara, atta, modakam, all of them come together to form muda, karatta, modakam. I hope you don't have any issues pronouncing it. If you have any issues with questions with pronunciation also, you can raise your hands and we can look at it there itself. This first one is relatively simple. This second part of first line, sada vimukti sadhakam. Make sure you're pronouncing that dha as a mahaprana sound. It is not sadhakam, it is sadhakam, dha. Sada vimukti sadhakam. The first da is alpa prana, less air, and at the end the dha is a mahaprana. Let's do the entire line now itself. Muda karatta modakam sada vimukti sadhakam. No questions? If you missed it, you can. This will be available on YouTube, so you can rewind in that and watch it, or you can try one more time when I'm chanting it at the end. I am intentionally not doing it to any melody right now. The song that you saw that played just before the stream started, that is a musical rendition. There are many musical renditions, very popular ones. If you want to sing it, you can follow those. The links to them are also in the description. Or you can do mudaka rata modakam sada vimukti sadhakam. But the existing melodies are all little advanced. I mean, I want this to be understandable and repeatable to everybody, not just the ones who are musically savvy. So Sanskrit has its own inherent rhythm, so we'll enjoy that. So one more time, first line, muda karata modakam sada vimukti sadhakam. This word, kala dhara avatansakam. When these three words come together, they form kala dharavatamsakam. This dha is again a mahaprana sound. Kala dharavatamsakam. The second part of this line, vilasi loka rakshakam. Vilasi loka rakshakam. Let's do the second line entirely. Kala dharavatamsakam vilasi loka rakshakam. This part, anayaka eka nayakam becomes anayakaika nayakam. Especially the Hindi speaking crowd, please do not pronounce this as anayakaika. It's not a, it's I. Anayakaika. Anayakaika nayakam. Second part of the third line, vinashita ibha daityakam. The bha is a mahaprana sound. These three words come together to form vinashitebha daityakam. Once again, there is A and I. These are the most prominently mispronounced sounds as, how do you pronounce A wrongly? I don't know. Just let's not go to the wrong pronunciations. It's A and I. So, vinashitebha daityakam. Third line completely. Anayakaika nayakam vinashitebha daityakam. Any questions so far? The last line, the first word is made up of nata, ashubha, ashu, nashakam. Telugu speakers do not pronounce this as natasu. It's not sha. It is natashu, bhasu. It's or Gujarati speakers, they make sa only. Sh becomes sa. This is sh. Natashu bhashu nashakam. There are three kinds of those sounds. There is sa, there is sh, this one, and the thicker one, the thickest of them all is sh, like in Shanmukha, Vishnu, Shatkorna, all of those. This is sh, not sa, not sha. Natashu bhashu nashakam. The next word in the fourth line, namami tam vinayakam. Simple enough. The fourth line completely. Natashu bhashu nashakam namami tam vinayakam. Now, I want to address one most commonly asked question and one common doubt that everybody has, which is how to pronounce that dot on top. That sound and two dots to the side, those are both commonly confused sounds when pronouncing in Sanskrit. This one, that dot on top is called as an anuswara. The two dots, horizontal dots, one dot on top of the other, that is called a visarga. Both these, anuswara and visarga, their pronunciations depend on what sounds come before and after those symbols. So the sound, if there is ka, any consonant that comes in ka, kha, ga, gha is coming after that dot on top becomes nga. Kankanam, ganga, nga. So if after that dot on top, any of these consonants, cha, cha, ja, jha come, the dot on top becomes nya, chanchala, vipanchi, nya. So if ta, tha, da, dha come, the dot on top becomes na, dindima, danda. So da is coming after that dot, so it becomes na, danda. You won't say damda or dangda. These are all very natural sounds as to which are based on how the human vocal cavity itself is. If you still have any questions regarding these, we can look at it case by case. Again, if any of these five vargas, all of you know kakha, ga, ghanga, chacha, ja, jhanya, tata, da, dhana, tata, da, dhana, papa, ba, bhama. So in each of these five rows of consonants, if the first four consonants come after that dot, the fifth consonant, the last consonant, will be the nasal sound that anuswara takes up. Simple. If there is still questions, we can look at it. And visarga, it simply just takes on the vowel sound that comes before it. So guru, guruhu, hari, harihi, rama, ramaha, that is also optional. You can leave that swara and just say rama, hari, guru as an expulsion of air, which visarga just means. All right. Now that we have looked at how to pronounce this, we will come back to chant this entire shloka together. But the next time we do it, we want to equip ourselves with the understanding of the shloka and what it conveys as well. So before we chant it together, let us look at how to get to the meanings of the shloka. This is the exact same shloka, just twisted and turned, so that it becomes very organized. That 4 lines in one go might seem like, oh, where do I start? Which way do I, what do I start with? Where do I end up? Here it is very clear. You start here, you then go here, and then you end up here. This is the main idea conveyed in the shloka. This is a phrase in that shloka that is adding more meaning to this one. And these are all other phrases in the shloka that are adding more meaning to this one. Very simple. So it's a very clear visual hierarchy of meanings and how they connect to each other. The main idea in the shloka is namami. I bow down. Nama. Namaste, namami, namo namaha, namastubhyam. Nama is I bow down to you. Tam vinayakam. Whom do I bow down to? To tam, that. Vinayaka. Vinayaka is the Lord of Lord that removes obstacles. Vighnanayaka, the shortened form is Vinayaka. To that, and his name itself is Vinayaka. So I bow down to that Vinayaka. How is that Vinayaka whom I bow down to? His descriptions are all of the other words, other phrases in the shloka. The first description is, what kind of Vinayakam do I bow down to? Mudakara Atta Modakam Vinayakam Tam Namami. So if you start from here and connect it back, you can make one whole sentence. That's how this organization works. If these phrases themselves had other phrases in the shloka that were describing these further, they would have been placed even further there. That's how this whole thing works. First description of that Vinayaka is Muda, with happiness, Kara, hands, Atta, holding, Modaka, a modak or a kodakatta, kodumu in Telugu, kodubu in Kannada, all of these. So his favorite dish, we feed him because it's his favorite, we say. But if we look at those three forms of interpretation, you could figure it out by yourself as to why the lore came up that something which is so rich and dense in nutrition and such heavy foods, is something that is used as fuel for the Muladhara Chakra. So these are interpretations that you don't need somebody to come tell you. Once you know that these are the three metaphors that Ganesha stands for, the Muladhara Chakra, the Bhumi Tattva, and the son of Shiva and Parvati, you can get that understanding for yourself. So Adi Shankaracharya says, to the one who holds that modaka in happiness in his trunk. Kara is a hand, but also that which you use to act. Kra dhatu it comes from, karoti, kara. And an elephant is also called a kari because it has an extra trunk. It has one main hand with it. So in his trunk, the one who is holding a modaka. You're using mobile. The letters are blurred in this slide when zoomed. Is it? Okay. Let me do one thing. It should have been. Can you also change your resolution settings? Maybe that is what is causing that blur. You can change the resolution to 1080p, which is what we are streaming this in. But despite that, let me do something. Okay, I can do this. You know the overall, all of you know how the structure is. So I'll just zoom in. We'll zoom it back to see the overall structure one more time at the end. I hope this is clearer now and not as blurred as it was before. But I'm pretty sure that if you change your resolution settings of the stream, it becomes clearer. You could be in 360p. But if you're still using it to save your data, this should fix it. Works fine in 1080p. Yeah, that's what I guessed. All right. The next description that Adi Shankaracharya says for that Ganesha, that Vinayaka, is Sada, always, Vimukti, liberation, Sadhaka, the one who sadhana is a tool because it gets some work, something done. So getting things done is Siddhi. And Sadhaka is the one who works towards getting that Siddhi. Ganesha is the one who works towards getting that Siddhi for his devotees. He is doing that sadhana for us. So he is a sadhaka. Also, he is the one who delivers it. Vimukti, the liberation. And where does that journey towards mukti start? Of course, at the base of the spine, where the latent energy that rises up resides. The next description, Kala Dhara Avatamsakam. Avatamsa is at the very tip. What does he have at the very tip? At the tip of his head, on his crown? Kaladhara. Kaladhara is the name of the moon because he is the one who holds Dhara. Kalas are different. You can think of Kala has multiple meanings. Moon is also seen as the creator of all the arts, the one who holds all the artistic things within himself. If there is no moon, there wouldn't be finesse and art in the world. Kalas are also different facets of the moon because he is going through Chandra Kala, as they call it, is the different facets from Amavasya to Purnima. The different waxing and waning phases he goes through are Kaladhara. So the one who has a moon at his crescent. And why does he have a moon at his crescent? Because we here worship Ganesha as when we are worshipping him as in his Daivika form, deity form, he is not just limited to the Mooladhara chakra, he is the fullest manifestation of Mooladhara, the most in its most energized form. So he has reached his peak state, peak level of being. So a moon being at the top of the head refers to one reaching the highest state one can reach within oneself. So he has that crown at the top of his head. The next word that describes him, Vilasi Loka Rakshakam. Vilasa is playfulness, Loka, the entire world, Rakshaka, the one who protects the entire world in his playfulness. Anayaka Eka Nayakam. Nayaka, Nayana is the eye, Nayaka is a leader. Both of these come from the root sound ni, which means to lead forward. Eyes lead us forward, so they are Nayana. And that's the same. Nayaka is the leader who leads us forward. But for those who are leaderless, or those who do not have any guidance as to where to go, those who are anayakas, he is the ekanayaka, he is the sole leader who leads them forward. Once again, if you look at those three interpretations, you keep them in your mind, the adhidaivika, adhibhautika and the adhyatmika, this makes sense. Anayaka, ekanayakam. Then this description is vinashita ibha daityakam. The story goes that there was an asura called Gajasura who had gobbled up Atmalinga of Shiva, so that Shiva's Atmalinga can just reside in his belly all the time. So there are different kinds of stories here. There are different interpretations as to what they mean. But this Gajasura is the one who was destroyed by Ganesha. So he is the one who destroyed Gajasura. So that is Vinashita Ibha Daityakam. The last one, Nata Ashubha Ashu Nashakam. Nata is those who bow down to him. Ashubha, all sorts of inauspiciousness. Shubha is auspicious. Ashubha, inauspiciousness. Ashu, very easily. Nashaka, the one who destroys all of them. One fascinating thing is, again, if we go back, if you rewind and look at the sounds of the Mooladhara chakra, there are, each chakra in the human body has different numbers of sounds, Sanskrit sounds associated with them. If you count them all, they will count up to the entire Sanskrit alphabet. It is fascinating. The whole thing is fascinating. But specifically here, coming here, Mooladhara chakra has 4 sounds: Vam, Sam, Sham and Sham. These 4 sounds correspond to the Mooladhara chakra. And here there is a beautiful play of Nata, Shubha, that Sha sound repeating itself. Once again, I do not know the efficacy of this particular stotram specifically, so I will not claim that this is going to deliver this is going to deliver that kind of benefit. This is not a stotra. There is, of course, a phalashruti at the end that will make that claims for on its behalf. But there are these potent sounds that this is a mark of Adi Shankaracharya, that he embeds bija mantras and sounds that work on the physical body within these beautiful praises or kirtanas or kritis and stotras, which seem like they are praising a deity, but they are directly working on the human body. All right, I hope the meanings now are clear. Let's do a quick recap. Where is transform? Reset. Okay. So, a very, very clear hierarchy of connected words. Namami tam vinayakam, mudakara attamodakam, sada vimukti sadhakam, kaladhara avatamsakam, vilasi loka rakshakam, anayaka ekanayakam, vinashita ibha daityakam, nata ashubha ashu nashakam. We will now chant the shloka together. But before we do that, if there are any questions about the meanings here, you can ask them now. Or if it has been very easy, then I will explain the next shloka slightly quicker, because taking 40 minutes for each shloka is not sustainable for the live stream. So I will make it slightly quicker. If there are no questions here, we'll move forward by chanting the first shloka together. Wonderful. Other question, please. Is the Zoom password showing for the YouTube members? Yes. When I try to open the link for the password, Nidhi ji. Okay. Ibha, the word for yes, Ibha is the name. Daitya means an asura. Is Diti's sons are Daityas. So if that's why I said, right, if we look at how these words find their meanings, Kashyapa Prajapati had two wives, Diti and Aditi. All the sons of Aditi became Adityas because they came from Aditi, and all the sons of Diti became Daityas. And these brothers had a quarrel among themselves, and all the Diti's sons took to the dark side, and they became Tamasic, and they are all the Daityas or the Asuras. And Adityas they were the first divine beings to come into existence. So the word here is Ibha Daityaka, that Daitya is an asura and Ibha means an elephant. Now what Diti as a word itself means, what Ibha means, honestly I don't know. These are words that I also have not delved into in that detail. This is the thing with Sanskrit, that English also. English to a large extent, Sanskrit to much smaller extent, that we take meanings of words for granted, that yes, this must mean this, of course. And I'm speaking with that surety that I don't know why sure means sure. But in Sanskrit, it has a reason under, logic behind why it is. But here, Ibha, let me see if I can figure it out. But if we do that, Ibha and Diti and Aditi and Kashyapa, all of these, why each of these sounds mean what they do. Ibha is eti gachati iti Ibha, that which moves forcefully, I guess, added as a subtext is Ibha. Ibha Daityaka, because Ibha stands for an elephant and Daitya is an asura. Ibha Daitya is the Gajasura. All right, wonderful. Gorayaji, no, Hanuman Chalisa is not covered because Hanuman Chalisa is not Sanskrit exactly, Avadhi. Maybe I will do it though, there has been a lot of demand on it. But if there are any questions pertaining to the first shloka, we'll look at it. But otherwise, this Advaita, Madhvacharya's Dvaita, all of that, general questions, we'll look at it in a different live stream. But for now, I hope and I'm happy that the first shloka is clear to everybody. Let us chant it together. This time I'll do it very slowly so you can follow along with me. Muda karata modakam sada vimukti sadhakam kaladharavatam sakam vilasi lokarakkshakam anayakaikanayakam vinashitebhadaityakam natashubhashunashakam namami tam vinayakam. Anybody, just for one quick demonstration of if there are any mispronunciations that are common, anybody on Zoom call wants to volunteer? You can, after the public live stream is done, you can have that, practice corrections at the end of the stream. But you feel like you might not stick until the end of the session, or you want to try it out now, so that others on the live stream, your video will not be on YouTube, but your audio will be. It will be audible on YouTube. Anybody wants to volunteer to demonstrate if there are any mispronunciations? Sure. First, Praveenaji, go ahead, then Ishwaranji can do it. Slowly, slowly. No, no, no. You have the text on screen, right? Go for it very, very slowly. Well done. Wonderful. Okay, I guess the YouTube people could not hear it before. I said change the settings so that they can hear it. You did not make any mistakes though. Well done. Ishwaranji, go for it.
मुदाकरात्तमोदकं सदा विमुक्तिसाधकं कलाधरापतंसकं विलासिलोकरक्षकम् अनायकैकनायकं विनाशिते दैत्यकं नताशुभाशुनाशकं नमामि तं विनायकम्.
Well done. You also did not make any mistakes. Wonderful. There was a slight, very little accent of little bit of ga. A Tamil speaker or Malayalam speaker, right? You said. Anyway, because of this Malayalam. Okay, the light anaya kaika, because of Malayalam, there is a little bit of a ga, the ka and ga sound, but not really a clear mispronunciation as such. But well done. I guess regulars of the Sanskrit channel, I guess, already are aware of most of the common mistakes made during pronunciation. So, well done. Let us now go to the second shloka. I will pick up the pace a little bit so that we have 5 more shlokas to go. But yes, let's cover this. Now, for now, pay attention to how I chant the shloka, then the same methodology as we did before. Na tetarati bhikaram navoditarka bhaswaram namat surari nirjaram natadhikapaduddharam sureshwaram nidhishwaram gajeshwaram ganeshwaram maheshwaram tamashraye paratparam nirantaram. Very beautiful. Like it's such a playful arrangement of sounds. Let us do it word by word. The first word is split as nata, itara, ati, bhikaram. All these words come together to form natetarati bhikaram. Next word is made up of nava, udita, arka, bhaswaram. Navoditarka bhaswaram. Let's do the entire line. Natetarati bhikaram navoditarka bhaswaram. This word namat sura ari nirjaram. Namat surari nirjaram. Next word nata adhika apat uddharam. That uddharam can itself be split as ut and dharam, but will not go that splitting. Nata adhika apat uddharam. Natadhikapad uddharam. These are fairly easy. Sureshwaram, Nidhishwaram, Sura Ishwaram, Nidhi Ishwaram. Gaja Ishwaram is Gajeshwaram. Gana Ishwaram, Ganeshwaram. Maha Ishwaram, Maheshwaram. The next word is Tam Ashraye. That becomes Tamashraye. Parat Param, Nirantaram. We did not do it line by line. Let's do the second line completely. Namat Surari Nirjaram Natadhi Kapaduddharam. Third line. Sureshwaram Nidhishwaram Gajeshwaram Ganeshwaram. Fourth line. Maheshwaram Tamashraye Parat Param Nirantaram. Once again, we'll chant it together at the end of, after learning the meanings that are conveyed by this shloka. Once again, same hierarchical arrangement, layer-wise arrangement of the words of this shloka. It's very similar to how the first shloka was. There is one main idea which is conveyed by Adi Shankaracharya, and there is one phrase that connects back to that main idea, and all the other phrases just add more detail to that one phrase. Very simple. The main phrase is Nirantaram Ashraye. Nirantaram, everybody knows. Antara is a break. Anantara, after the break. Nirantara, without a break. All of this know this. So Nirantaram, without a break, constantly. Ashraye, Ashraya is seeking shelter or refuge. I constantly seek shelter in, I constantly seek the support of, I constantly seek refuge in. Tam Parat Param. In Tam is that, like we saw before. Who is him? That Parat Param. Para is that which is beyond what exists here. Iha is here. Opposite of Iha is Para. If something is beyond that even, then that is Parat Param, beyond what is subtle. So there is the material aspect of creation, this most dense material stuff, and then there is the subtler aspects of energy which is not still manifest as material, and then beyond that there is something which is unmanifest, which is the subtlest. So it again, if we look at the koshas, the pancha koshas, the 5 layers of the body, the most iha, which is here, is the annamaya kosha, the densest physical body as flesh, blood and bones. Beyond that, para, beyond that is the manomaya kosha, which is thoughts and emotions and the entire mental framework, psychological stuff. Beyond that is the subtler life force itself that powers up all of this other mechanical framework. So there is different levels of subtlety that go from the densest to the subtlest. Here Adi Shankaracharya is describing him as Ganesha, as the one who is subtler than the subtle. So we can look at it in multiple interpretations. He is the energy that powers up Muladhara Chakra. So if we look at the physical body and the Muladhara as energy there, that is Para. Iha is the physical body. Para, beyond that, is the energy at Muladhara. The force of creation that causes that energy at the Muladhara, the cause behind that is Parat Para. It is one way of looking at it. He is also, if we look at it in a different interpretation, Ganesha, we see this in multiple systems of worship. Even if the energy that we are accessing is localized in one particular energy center or in one aspect of creation, like just the Bhutattva, when we worship them, they are seen as the entirety, the all, the only object of, the only divine form that exists in entire creation. That is how worship goes on. If you look at Ganesha Atharva Shirsham, he is seen as the very personification as Om. There is no other deity but Ganesha. That's how Ganesha Atharva Shirsha approaches it. So that deity of worship becomes the supreme consciousness itself. So this could mean that as well. So both interpretations exist. And how is that parat para, which could stand in both these interpretations? What is the description of that? He is nata itara ati bhikaram. Ati, extremely, bhikara, fears, to itara, others who have not bowed down to him. Nata is bowing down. So for those who do not bow down to him, nata itara, he is ati bhikara, he is extremely fierce. So this, in some interpretations, which are false clearly, they just say, oh, to those who bow down to any other deity but him, he is very fierce, which is the cause for all these kinds of strife between different sects that form. Oh, we are Shaktas, we are Shaivas, we are Vaishnavas, we are Ganapatyas, we are Smartas, whatever else nonsense has cropped up in the world. It goes on because of these kind of simple, silly misinterpretations that Nata Itara is for others who do not bow down to him. He is extremely fierce. You see how this drama goes on from here, flares up, that, oh, if you bow down to some other deity, Ganesha gets angry. If you start worshipping other devatas before Ganesha, Ganesha gets angry. But once again, if we look at these as the abstract metaphors for creation, one needs, if we want to build up our energies, the most fundamental thing to do is to set a strong foundation, to make sure that the bhutatva, the mooladhara, the support is sturdy and stable. So if you approach others without bowing down to him first, of course, the energy structure, whatever, the sadhana will topple, will fumble. That is one way of looking at it. A more subtle, simpler way of looking at it is for those who are undevoted, who do not have devotion in their heart at all, who are going along in the world with stubbornness and self-importance. For those who do not know how to bow down, he is extremely fierce, ati bhikara. But definitely not meant to incite strife in society that, oh, Ganesha does not like worship of other deities. Nonsense. The same goes with Krishna also. There is a big furor over how some texts might translate wrongly other devatas as demigods. So in some sects they follow Bhagavata and Bhagavad Gita and the entire Krishna's avatara as the only supreme deity. Nothing wrong. He is, of course, a manifestation of supreme consciousness, and so is Shiva, so is Vishnu, so is Shakti. That these kind of problems do not crop up when one has all the three interpretations of Adhidaivika, Adhibhautika and Adhyatmika working simultaneously, so that they have their hearts and their brains have something to latch on to. Anyway, the next one, Nava Udita Arka Bhaswaram. Arka is the sun, Bhaswara, the one who has the radiance. Bha, the sound Bha itself represents light and radiance. Prabha, Abha, Bhanu, Bhaskara, Bhavya. So the one who has the Bhaswara radiance of Arka, the sun. What kind of sun? Nava Udita. Nava is new, Udita is risen, newly risen sun. The one who has that reddish glow of sunrise. The color of Mooladhara Chakra is also red. So these kind of interpretations one can draw for oneself. Next description, Namat Sura Ari Nirjaram. Nirjara, the one who destroys, the one who removes from existence. Ari, the enemies. Whose enemies? Sura Ari, the enemies of the Suras, the Devas. Namat, how are those Suras? They are bowing down to him. The Suras have approached him for protection, and their enemies have been defeated by Ganesha. Where those Suras are, again, this whole battle between Asuras and Suras is something that metaphorically is seen as something that happens within us as conflicts between our different facets. There is one section in the Bhagavad Gita called Daiva Asura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga, which is the different kinds of tendencies that are within us, which can be both divine or which can be demonic. So anyway, English does very little justice. But he is the one who defeats the enemies of the suras in all three interpretations. Next, Nata Adhika Apat Uddharam. Uddhara, the one who uplifts. Ut as a suffix itself means up. Dhara, one who holds up. From what? Apat. Apat is different difficulties, hardships, and dangers. Adhika is lots of them. Nata, once again, for those who bow down to him, he is the one who uplifts those who bow down to him from many, many difficulties, many, many dangers. Sura Ishwaram, he is the lord of the suras. Ishwara, which is the word that continues again and again, is the one who rules over, the one who governs the functioning of, is Isha. So Ishwara is the one who sets the rules of play. So Sureshwara is the lord of the suras. Nidhishwara, the one who rules over all the treasures and the different kinds of wealth. Gajeshwara, he is the lord. This can be seen as the one who is the lord of elephants, which is not a very nice translation, which is not a very wholesome translation. Gajeshwara, he is the one who, he's an Ishwara who has the face of a Gaja. Makes much more sense. But Sanskrit samasas like this, when words come together, they can be interpreted in both ways. Gajeshwara is also the lord of all the elephants, or the lord who has an elephant face. Gana Ishwaram, he is the lord of the Ganas, Shiva's followers. Maha Ishwaram, the great lord. Maha is the one who is enormous, who has a lot of grace. Maheshwara is the great lord. Now, let us do a quick recap of the entire shloka. Main idea is Nirantaram Ashraye, I constantly seek refuge in. Tam Paratparam, in that Lord who is beyond that which is even subtle. How is he? Nata Itara Atibhikaram, Nava Udita Arka Bhaswaram, Namat Surari Nirjaram, Nata Adhika Apatuddharam, Sureshwaram, Nidhishwaram, Gajeshwaram, Ganeshwaram, Maheshwaram, Tam Paratparam, Nirantaram Ashraye. Simple. Now let's do it together. As I chant it now very slowly, you can do it along with me. न ते तराति भीकरं न वोदितार्क भास्वरं न मत्सुरारि निर्जरं न ताधिकापदुद्धरं सुरेश्वरं निधीश्वरं गजेश्वरं गणेश्वरं महेश्वरं तमाश्रये paratparam nirantaram. Simple enough. Nidhi, I don't see you in the Zoom call yet. I don't know why. Maybe you're having trouble finding the password. So let's do one thing. You can stay there in the YouTube live stream, and at the end of the YouTube live stream, I will just give you the passwords. Give everybody the passwords, and you can all, whoever is there, can come on Zoom at the end. But I will not have time to answer each and every question like this. We'll give priority to members first, and then once they are done, we can have the public live stream, the sharing of the password publicly. All right. Any questions pertaining to the second shloka? We can look at it now. Nothing. Nice. Yeah, these shlokas are not that complex as Saundarya Lahari or Kanakadhara Stotram, that, not very complex poetic imagery. These are very simple connections between each other. So if that is clear, let's move to the third shloka. I'll chant it first. Please pay attention to every sound as I chant it. Samasta loka shankaram Nirasta daitya kunjaram Dareta rodaram varam Varebha vaktramaksharam Kripakaram kshamakaram Mudakaram yashaskaram Manaskaram namaskritam Namaskaromi bhaswaram. The first word is Samasta Loka Shankaram. 3 words coming together. Samasta Loka Shankaram. Next word. Nirasta Daitya Kunjaram. Nirasta Daitya Kunjaram. The first line completely is Samasta Loka Shankaram Nirasta Daitya Kunjaram. Here, Dareta Rodaram. It is split as Dara, Itara, Udaram. That becomes Dareta Rodaram Varam. The next word is split as Vara, Ibha, Vaktram, Aksharam. Varebha, Vaktram, Aksharam. Let's do the second line completely. Take a deep breath because there are more Mahaprana sounds here. Dareta Rodaram Varam Varebha Vaktram Aksharam. Next line, first word, Kripakaram. Make sure you're pronouncing that Kr as R, not Ru. Telugus especially, it's not Krupa, Kripa. Or Hindi speaking people, it's not Kripa, it is not E, it's not a Rishi or Ritu, it is Kripa. Rishi, Ritu, Runa, Kripa. R. It's a separate vowel sound. It's a swara. R is a different swara from E or U. Kripakaram. Next word, Kshamakaram. Next word, Mudakaram. Next word, Yashaskaram. This word, Manaskaram. Next, Namaskritam. Next word, Namaskaromi. Bhaswaram. Oh, these are individual words, but still, we'll do it line by line. You can do it with me. You can try doing it with me. Kripakaram, Kshamakaram, Mudakaram, Yashaskaram, Manaskaram, Namaskritam, Namaskaromi, Bhaswaram. Once we understand the meanings, you'll get, these simple words will get easier for you to pronounce. Once again, a very simple arrangement of words of this shloka. There is only one key idea that is being conveyed here, which is Namaskaromi. I bow down to. Namaskaram Karomi. I do it. What do? I bow down to. Whom? Bhaswaram. We saw that the root sound Bha represents brilliance and radiance and, that shiningness. So Bhaswaram is that radiance. The one who is radiant is Bhaswaram. And all these other phrases just describe him as the radiant one even further. I'll zoom into it, but the structure is simple enough, and these words are also very small, beautiful, easy to understand words. Feel free to interrupt me if you have questions about these words as I explain them. Namaskaromi, I bow down to. Bhaswaram, the one who is radiant. Namaskritam, Manaskaram. Namaskritam is for those who bow down to him. He is Manaskaram. He is the one who inspires their minds, who in fact Manaskaraha is also the one who pleases the minds, the one who follows the wish is literal meaning of what Manaskaram is. Inspires the minds is slightly more loose translation, but Manaskaram is the one who follows the intent. That is the more direct meaning. Namaskritam Manaskaram. If you approach him, you worship him, then he moves in the direction that you set your mind upon. Samasta, all loka, worlds. Shankara is the name for Shiva because he is the one who causes Sham. Sham is the sound that denotes auspiciousness. Shubham, Sham. Kara is the one who creates. The one who creates auspiciousness. Anybody who creates auspiciousness is Shankara. So here Adi Shankaracharya refers to Ganesha as Shankara for all the worlds. He's the one who provides auspiciousness, does good. Once again, a very loose translation. Samasta Loka Shankaram. He's the one who creates auspiciousness for all the worlds. Nirasta Daitya Kunjaram. Once again, we saw the Ibha Daitya. So Daitya is again the son of Diti, the Asuras. Kunjara is yet another name for an elephant. I think Kunja is a grove. Kunjara is that which destroys groves, literally, that which, there are many words in which Gaja and Kunjara, Ibha, Kari, these are different words for an elephant which describe different aspects of it. Kunjara is the one that plays in the groves, that enters groves, and that creates chaos in the groves, all those. Daitya Kunjara is that again, demon elephant, Gajasura. Nirasta is the one who disempowered him, the one who destroyed him, defeated him. Again, Dara Itara Udaram. Itara is the other, Dara is a little, Dara Itara is a large. One explanation for this kind of usage, why did not he just say Mahodaram? One thing is, of course, the poetic rhythm, the chandas breaks. So instead of calling him Mahodara, if you call him Daretara, you express the same thing in 4 syllables. That is one very easy explanation. There could be many other subtler connotations as to why he chose this. Other bellies are all small, but his belly is large because Muladhara is where the most of the energy that is consumed goes. It is the strongest, densest element. So many connotations there. But here, if you look at it very simply, Dare Tarodaram, he is the one who has the largest belly of others, of any others. Varam is one who is the best. Vara Ibha Vaktram. Vaktra is a face. Ibha, once again, a word for an elephant. Vara Ibha Vaktram, the one who has an auspicious face of an elephant. Aksharam. Kshara is decay. Akshara is that which does not decay. He is the one who is imperishable, unmutable. He is the one who has no decay, who is eternal. Kripakaram, who bestows compassion. We just saw that Shankara is the one who creates auspiciousness. So Kara is the one who creates, bestows, gives. One who make sure that it comes to be is Kara, creates. Kripakara, the one who creates compassion or the one who bestows compassion, is compassionate. Kshama Karam, the one who bestows forgiveness, Kshama. Muda Karam, the one who bestows joy, Muda. And Yashas Karam, the one who bestows fame. So worshipping Ganesha is that which grants us with all these benefits. Yashaskaram, Mudakaram, Kshamakaram, Kripakaram, Aksharam, Vara Ibhavaktram, Varam, Dara Itara Udaram, Nirasta Daitya Kunjaram, Samasta Loka Shankaram, Namaskritam Manaskaram, Bhaswaram, Aham Namaskaromi. That Aham is implied with verb forms that end in me, because that refers to myself doing in first person. So Aham is not needed. Namaskaromi, I bow down to him. Now, this is how all the words connect. Any questions with the meanings? Wonderful. Let us now chant the shloka together. You can join along with me in chanting this. Samasta loka shankaram nirasta daitya kunjaram dareta rodaram varam varebha vaktram kripakaram kshamaakaram mudakaram yashaskaram manaskaram namaskritam namaskaromi bhaswaram. I see there is a question on being able to print this out. So there will, in the descriptions, you will be able to find a PDF. It's not published yet. I will put up links for it. But again, the entire thing is on YouTube. Whatever I'm going to provide is there here. You can take screenshots of this. If you want to take printouts, the PDFs and MP3s, once again, we have made it available for members. That's one way for us to generate revenue and to give something back as value for our supporters and members. So you can check that out. I'll post these for YouTube members and Patreon members. The PDFs which have the meanings, the layer-wise arrangement and the summary of each shloka in Devanagari and English like this, and also my audio of chanting it and a doc version. Both of these will be available for download in the description itself later on. Right now they're just empty in the description. Once I upload them on Patreon and YouTube, I will post those links. Let us go to the fourth shloka. I'll chant it first. Please pay attention to every sound as I chant it. Akinchanarti marjanam chirantanokti bhajanam purari purvanandanam surari garva charvanam prapancha nasha bhishanam dhananjayadi bhushanam kapola dana varanam bhaje purana varanam. As I'm chanting this, there seems to be some progression from the first shloka. There is a kind of a sound progression also that is happening, and in description also. I'm not too sure about it yet. It's just a little bit of a feeling that I'm getting, but I will dwell on it more later. But that is the beauty of Sanskrit. Even if I have chanted this and read this multiple times before, countless number of times, but there is something new that strikes you, that could strike you, which could be a legit interpretation of it. Especially with how this particular description is. There is, from Mooladhara being static and dense, there seems to be a movement, a kind of an energizing phenomena that is happening as we progress through it. Once again, I'm not too sure of it yet, but seems like it. Anyway, you let me know if you feel the same, or if there is anything else that you could have interpreted, that you could, that dawns upon you as you're chanting it. The first word is akinchana arti marjanam. The whole word is akinchanarti marjanam. Second word of the first line, chirantana ukti bhajanam. Chirantanokti bhajanam. I hope you guys are still noticing that all of these lines are in that exact same rhythm. Nana, 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 nana. Notice as we do the first line completely. Akinchanarti marjanam chirantanokti bhajanam. First word of the second line. Pura ari purva nandanam. Purari purva nandanam. Next word, Sura Ari Garva Charvanam. Surari Garva Charvanam. Let's do the entire line completely. Purari Purva Nandanam Surari Garva Charvanam. Third line, Prapancha Nasha Bhishanam. That sha at the end is the thickest sha I was talking about. It's not Prapancha Nasha Bhishanam. It is Prapancha Nasha Bhishanam. That sha is the thickest expulsion of air. I want you to try it. Sha. The jaw comes down when you expel that amount of air. Sha. Prapancha Nasha. For this sha, the jaw movement is not so much. Sa, it's almost non-existent. Sha, a little more. Sha is the thickest. Prapancha Nasha Bhishanam. Bhishana. The next word, Dhananjaya Adi Bhushanam. Same, Bhushanam, Bhishanam. So the third line completely. Prapancha Nasha Bhishanam Dhananjayadi Bhushanam. This word, Kapola Dana Varanam. Kapola Dana Varanam. Bhaje. Last word, Purana Varanam. Lots of nas at the end. Fourth line completely. Kapola Dana Varanam Bhaje Purana Varanam. I hope you are still noticing that nana, 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 Kapola Dana Varanam Bhaje Purana Varanam. So that rhythm is constantly going on. Let us now delve into the meanings of this. Here, the number of phrases are fewer. The main idea that is conveyed is bhaje, I worship. Whom do I worship? Purana Varanam. Varana is yet another name for an elephant. Even that word I don't know. Now I'm curious. Give me just a couple of seconds. I'll try to figure out why Varana is an elephant. Because I'm pretty sure Ishwaranji, if he asks me, I won't be able to answer him next. So and I'm also curious. Oh, interesting. Varana, we all know the meaning before that, it's used in restraint, resisting something, so it has these meanings of invincible and dangerous and a sense of forbidding and all that. That is why that which is, invincible and very that nivarana, we know this word nivarana, so which is to avoid. So this is that which is invincible, all resisting. That's the kind of meaning. Anyway, I got curious because I didn't know the meaning before. I'll make a video on how to use that dictionary. I've been planning on doing that for a while now. I have showed it to our participants on Zoom a few sessions ago. It takes a little bit of skill to install it on your devices and then to interpret what the dictionary says, but we'll keep it for later. Purana Varanam. Purana is the one who is ancient, the one who has, who is long ago, so long ago. That is Purana. And he is, of course, when we look at him in the story format, he was the one who was, born long ago. He is ancient. He is the son of Shiva and Parvati who roamed the earth long ago. So those kind of stories. Or if we look at him as an eternal force also, he is somebody who is much older in time. He is, in that sense. Purana Varanam, the ancient elephant-faced one. All these other phrases describe him even further. He is Akinchana Arti Marjana. Marjana is to erase. An eraser is called as Marjani, and cat is called Marjara because it constantly keeps cleaning itself. So Marjana is cleaning or erasing, removing. Removing what? Arti. Arti is troubles. Of whom? Akinchana. Kinchana is something. Akinchana is nothing. So those who have nothing, no one for them. Arti, their troubles. Marjana, the one who removes them. Chirantana Ukti Bhajanam. He is the one who is the object of worship in Chirantana Ukti. Ukti is saying, Chirantana is eternal. The eternal sayings are the Vedas. The one who is praised in the Vedas are Chirantana Ukti Bhajana. His bhajana, his worship, his praise happens in the Vedas as well. So he is Chirantana Ukti Bhajanam. Is Purari Purva Nandanam. Nandana is a son. Purva is before, the first. Purari is the Ari, we saw enemy. Purari is the enemy of Pura, who is Tripurasura. Again, if we go into these stories, it will take forever. That's why these explanations can go for pages or multiple days on end, because now with the word Purari we can go into the story of Tripurasura and how Shiva vanquished him and all that stuff, but this just describes him as the first elder son of Tripurasura. Oh, the elder son of Tripurasura's enemy, who is Shiva. Then Surari Garva Charvanam. Charvana is the one who, again, the literal meaning is the one who chews up. Charvana is not, here it says a diva was, okay. Yes, he is the one who chews up or who destroys the garva, the pride of Sura Ari, the enemies of Suras. So he's the one who destroys the negative forces. Prapancha Nasha Bhishanam. Bhishana is the one who is fierce, the one who is terrifying. When during the time of Nashana, the destruction of what? Prapancha. Prapancha is all of this creation. Very interesting word, prapancha, because prapancha means that which is made up of the 5 elements. When there is creation, there is sustenance that is going on, and of course there is a destruction, dissolution phase that comes up. And when that dissolution comes up, he is the one who is fierce and terrible to behold. And he is also Bhushana. Bhushana is the one who is an ornament, of whom Dhananjaya Adi. Adi means etc. Dhananjaya is a name for Arjuna. He is the one who is a Bhushana or an ornament. An ornament is also something which you can, if it's a literal meaning, Bhushana as an ornament, is an asset. That is the best way one can look at it. Bhushana is the one who was an asset in the victory of the great beings like Arjuna. So if not for Ganesha, the other, whoever was great in the past could not have gotten their glory. So all these glorious beings of the past, he is the Bhushana or an asset for their glory. That is what is meant by Dhananjayadi Bhushanam. And the final word here, the description is Kapola Dana Varanam. Varana, once again, the word for an elephant that we just saw, the one who is invincible and irresistible. Irresistible meaning the one who is hard to resist, not hard to, contain. So, Dana is giving or pouring down. Pouring down on what? Kapola. Kapola are the cheeks. He's the elephant, Varana, on whose cheeks, Kapola, it is pouring down. What is pouring down? Apparently, this also I got to know when I was doing these translations and studying this. For elephants that are in heat and are fierce, and male elephants which are in their prime, apparently in their peak state of existence, in their heat, there is this musk or the rut that exudes from their temples, the kumbha, temple, this part, the forehead part, which are like 2 huge lumps. There is a fragrant juice of, it's like their own hormones, elephants' hormones. In that prime, these hormones secrete on their foreheads and drip onto their cheeks, apparently. And this is a real phenomenon, I checked. And Adi Shankaracharya is describing Ganesha as not just some, baby elephant who is cute to Parvati, but a fierce, elephant in its prime, that kind of a lord. So Kapola Dana Varanam, he's the one who's, he's that kind of an elephant on whose cheeks that rut juice is the English word for it. The secretions from his forehead are dripping down in his prime. Clear? So let's look at the entire shloka in this form. Kapola Danavaranam, Dhananjayadi Bhushanam, Prapanchanasha Bhishanam, Surari Garva Charvanam, Purari Purvanandanam, Chiranta Nukti Bhajanam, Akinchana Arti Marjanam, Purana Varanam, Bhaje. I worship. Any questions with the 4th shloka? Thank you. Let us now chant it together. I'll do it very slowly. You can now do it along with me. Akinchanarti marjanam chirantanokti bhajanam purari purvanandanam surari garva charvanam prapancha nasha bhishanam dhananjayadi bhushanam kapola dana varanam bhaje purana varanam. If there are any questions as to how to pronounce that sh and sh, people on Zoom, we can do it at the end of the stream. I'll demonstrate it some more. But 2 more shlokas to go. This is the last shloka of the stotra itself. With this, the 5 jewels are complete. Generally, ratnas, there are navaratnas that we all know, that there are these 9 precious stones that are used in multiple rituals. For the navagrahas, there are these navaratnas. But pancharatnas apparently are the more, the primal. There are 108 Upanishads, but the 11 are more important, more powerful. There are 9 ratnas, but these 5 are more powerful, rare, more energetic. So, this is the last ratna, like that. You will find the ratna list also. I don't remember them by name. But this is the last ratna. This is of the stotra. Now, I'll chant it first. You pay attention to how the sounds are. Nitanta kanta danta kanti manta kanta katmajam. We'll split it later on. This whole thing is one word. We'll split it and learn it later on. But for now, I'll just chant it continuously. Achintya rupa manta hina mantaraya krintanam hrudantare nirantaram vasantameva yoginam tamekadantameva tam vichintayami santatam. Yeah, as I'm reading that progression is becoming much more clear. His usage of the word yogi here, and in the very first beginning, his seeking for mukti, and at the final and first shloka started with the seeking for mukti, and the last shloka ended with the word yogi. So there is something there for sure. Something that I'm not yet paid a lot of time exploring, but you could do that exploration. I'll definitely do it in my own time. We'll just now learn how to pronounce individual words and then look at the meanings. The first line is one word. The entire line is just one word. It is made up of multiple component words, which are nitanta, kanta, danta, kantim, antaka, atmajam. Antaka comes 2 times. It's a beautiful play of words. We'll look at what that means. Antaka, atmajam. What that means, we'll look at it. But one more time. Nitanta, kanta, danta, kantim, antaka, atmajam. If you say the whole thing in one go, take a deep breath. Nitanta kanta danta kanti manta kanta katmajam. We'll have some fun later on Zoom trying to pronounce this. But if you are unable to do it, it's okay. We will look at the individual meanings of these words, and once we do that and when we come back to it, I'm sure it'll become easier. If it does not, then rewind this section, watch it a couple of times, and you will get it for sure. Second line too is one single word, which is made up of achintya rupam anta hinam antaraya krintanam. Pay attention to this. I'll do it once and you can repeat it after me. Achintya rupa manta hina mantaraya krintanam. You see, there definitely is something. This is becoming strong. This is the hardest kind of words that he has used. This with the fifth shloka, the stotra has reached some sort of a pinnacle, some sort of a peak. So there is a clear progression in how they are. Finally, hridantare. Once again, this is not hri or hru, it is hr. Hridantare. Hrit antare becomes hridantare. Nirantaram. Nihi plus antaram. Nirantaram. Next word, vasantam eva. Vasantam eva. Yoginam. This word, okay, let's do the third line completely. Hridantare nirantaram vasantameva yoginam. First word of the fourth line. Tam ekadantam eva. Tam ekadantam eva. Tam vichintayami santatam. Let's do the fourth line completely. Tamekadantameva tam vichintayami santatam. Let's now master the meanings of this shloka and then come back to pronouncing it one more time. Once again, as you see, the arrangement of words makes it very, very easy to visualize the relationship between the phrases that make up the shloka. There is one phrase which is the main idea. There is another phrase in the shloka that adds more detail to that main phrase. And all these are adding equal importance. They all connect to that other phrase. What is the main phrase? Tam santatam vichintayami. That one, tam santatam, always. Vichintayami, chintana is thought. Vichintayami, visheshena chintayami, I focus my thought upon, I meditate upon. Santatam tam vichintayami, I constantly worship. Some funny business going on in chat. First line is a group of fives. No, first line is not a group of fives. I don't know what you mean by that. Anyway, whom do I constantly dwell upon, meditate upon? Tam ekadantam eva. That single tusked, one tusked Lord only. He is the one who has broken off his own tusk, symbolizing enormous perseverance and sacrifice for a higher purpose, to compose the entire Mahabharata for Veda Vyasa when he was writing it down, more than 1 lakh shlokas. So that upon that Lord who has one tusk which depicts his perseverance and steadfast sadhana and his own sacrifice in giving himself for the higher goal, upon that Lord I meditate upon. How is he, that one-tusked Lord? Nitanta kanta danta kantim. Danta we all know, teeth. Danta kanti we all know, toothpaste, Patanjali's. But kanti is light or shining. Nitanta kanta is extremely bright. Nitanta is without end. Anta is end. Nitanta is without an end, without any decay. So Nitanta Kanta, exceedingly beautiful, lustrous is the English translation, but you see the meaning, you understand it for yourself. That the one whose shine of the tusk is extremely radiant, extremely brilliant. Antaka atmajam. Atmaja, that ja as a suffix denotes that which is born from. Niraja, born from water, a lotus. Pankaja, that which is born from slush, a lotus. These kind of things. Girija, that which is born from a mountain, Devi Parvati, all these kind of. Atmaja, the one who is born from oneself, one's son. Whose son is he? He is the son of Antaka's Antaka. Antaka means the one who brings an end to. something, the one who causes death. The one who causes death is Lord Yama. Shiva is the one who caused an end. He put an end to the one who puts an end. This traces back to the story of Markandeya also. Also, if you worship Shiva, you become somebody who is a master of death, who puts an end to death itself, because he is Mrityunjaya, of course, he is won over death. So, Shiva here is Antaka. He is the one who puts an end to the one who puts an end. Antakanta Katmaja is the son of Shiva. Beautiful wordplay. Achintya Rupam. The one's form, Rupa, is Achintya. It's unfathomable. Oh, but we can think of his form. He's fathomable. Of course, we know him as the one who has an elephant-like face, large ears, huge belly. His form is Chintitam like that. But if we think of him as the Bhutatva, Bhumi again is not earth as we know it, but matter, dense substance. That dense substance everywhere in this creation is Bhumi. Everything that has fluidity and movement is Jala. Everything that has heat, and that is Agni. So everything that occupies space, that is the volume to in some extent, is space. So there is that is the abstract form, which is hard to fit into the limited imaginary capabilities of our minds. So his Achintya Rupa in his abstract form. Antahinam. Hina is the one who does not have, who is devoid of. What is he devoid of? Anta. He is devoid of end itself. He does not have an end. He is an eternal force of creation. Antaraya Krintanam. Krintana is cutting down. Antaraya is obstacles. Any stoppages is Antara. So Antaraya Krintanam. He is the one who cuts away all obstacles. And he is the one who resides. Vasantam. Vasana is residing. Vasantam is the one who resides. Where does he reside? Yoginam Hridantare. Antara, here Anta is inside. Inside what? Hrid Antare, inside the hearts of whom? Yoginam, of the yogis. Nirantaram eva. Nirantaram is all the time, constantly, without an interruption. And where does he reside? Hridantare eva, only within the hearts of the yogis. So Yoginam Hridantare eva Nirantaram Vasantam Tam Ekadantam eva Tam Santatam Vichintayami. I constantly meditate upon that form of Ganesha. Doing a quick recap of the entire shloka. Yoginam Hridantare eva Nirantaram Vasantam Antaraya Krintanam Antahinam Achintya Rupam Antaka Atmajam Nitanta Kanta Danta Kantim Tam Ekadantam eva Tam Santatam Vichintayami. Is there two thumbs or did I repeat them? Let me look at it now as we try to chant the entire shloka. Yes, Tam has repeated itself twice. I don't think even this is accidental. There could be some correlation between two thumbs here. Nobody knows. You have to dwell upon it and ponder over it to find out. It's an interesting observation for sure. Yeah. It's definitely not one of the sounds of the Muladhara Chakra. Tameka dantameva tam. One reason again is it fits in the poetic meter, so he used the word tam twice. But that is a very lazy explanation for it. But I don't think there is an explanation for why there are two thumbs here anywhere in the world. If there is, you have to, and I have to kind of think upon it, dwell upon it and interpret it. But interesting that there are two thumbs. Let's chant the whole thing one more time. You can do it along with me now. Nitanta Kanta Danta Kanti Manta Kanta Katmajam. Okay, let me do it slightly slower. Nitanta Kanta Danta Kanti मूर्तिमन्तकान्तकात्मजम् अचिन्त्यरूपमन्तहीनमन्तराय कृन्तनं हृदन्तरे निरन्तरं वसन्तमेव योगिनां तमेकदन्तमेव तं विचिन्तयामि सन्ततम्. You can set your own tunes also to this. This nana 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 is just the rhythm. It could go nana 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 nana, or nana 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 nana, like Jatatavi Galajjala. Yes, it is. Shiva Tandava Stotram is also in the same exact Panchachamara Chandas. Pravinaji, you were mentioning it. Yes. All right. Let us now go to the last shloka for this session. This is a presence in multiple stotras that we see, which is called Phalashruti. Generally, after chanting any composition which has the potential to offer a benefit to a sadhaka who chants it, the composer at the end mentions that if a sadhaka does this chant, these are the benefits of doing so. So the sixth shloka is the last one, which is this Phalashruti is not a part of the chant. So if you are chanting Ganesha Pancharatnam, you don't need to chant this sixth shloka. If it's not mandatory, nothing is mandatory. It's not a part of the stotra itself. If you are doing it as sadhana, you can just do the 5. If you're doing it as meditation, you can meditate upon the 5. The sixth is a culminatory shloka that sometimes expresses gratitude, that sometimes expresses a wish to as to what the shloka confers upon a sadhaka. Let us do it. I'll chant it first, you pay attention to it. Then this is very easy to understand, and we'll understand how to pronounce it, and we'll understand the meanings of the shloka, and then do it together at the end. Ganesha Pancharatnamadarena yonvaham prajalpati prabhatake hridismaran ganeshwaram arogatam doshatam susahitim suputratam samahitayurashtabhutimabhyupaiti sochirat. The words are split like this and pronounced like this. The first big word is Ganesha Pancharatnam Adarena. Ganesha Pancharatnam Adarena. The last word, the second word of the first line, is split as Yaha Anvaham. That yes, the English yes kind of a symbol that you see, that's called an avagraha in Sanskrit. Avagraha is literally means a compaction. It is making something shorter. It's making something compact. That is compact. It's, what is a better word for compaction? Why am I thinking? Shortening. That yes is a symbol which is used whenever there is a shortening in writing. What is shortened? There are two as when they are coming one after the other. If at the end of the previous word there is an a sound, and at the beginning of the next word there is an a sound, these two a's are brought together and put as the yes symbol. It's not a yes, it's an avagraha. Yaha anvaham becomes yonvaham. Abbreviation. Thank you, Ina. Yes, abbreviation for brevity. Shortening is an easier way to make it brief. For brevity and abbreviation, that avagraha symbol is used. Next word, prajalpati. Prabhatake hridi Once again, that R is a vowel distinct from U or E. Hridi Smaran Ganeshwaram. Make sure that you're pronouncing that na by rolling the tip of the tongue backwards. It's not Ganeshwaram, it is Ganeshwaram. There is a subtle difference. And na is just by touching the tip against the roof of the mouth behind the teeth. Na. But na is by rolling the tongue backwards and flicking it forwards by taking support against the roof of the mouth, the palate, the middle section. Ganeshwaram. Na. Let's do the second line fully. Prajalpati prabhatake hridismaran Ganeshwaram. Third line, it's two words, arogatam, adoshatam. Again, that sh is a thick sh. Arogatam, adoshatam. Susahitim, suputratam. Let's do the third line fully. Arogatam, adoshatam, susahitim, suputratam. This last the fourth line's first word is made up of these words. Samahita, ayuhu, ashta, bhutim, abhyupaiti. Abhyupaiti. All of these words come together to form Samahitayu bhuti mabhyupaiti. Make sure you're pronouncing the bha sound, both these bha sounds, as mahapranas. They are not ashtabhuti or abhyupaiti, it's ashtabhuti abhyupaiti. This whole word is Samahitayu bhuti mabhyupaiti. In the last word also there is the avagraha symbol. Saha achirat becomes sochirat. Fourth line fully. Samahitayu bhuti mabhyupaiti sochirat. Let's look at the meanings of the shloka. Pop filter, this kind of should double up as a pop filter, but I want the pops to be heard clearly. The ta, the th, the pha, bha. I know it's a little harsh on the ears, but it's okay. For as a learning tool, it's better. It's not some music that you're hearing. It's a Sanskrit lesson. Right. Now the structure here is slightly, it's not as difficult. This is, we have done Saundarya Lahari and Kanakadhara Stotram and Shivatandava Stotram explanations. This is just, for the one who studies something, this is what he attains. So that is the overall main idea. How is the person who is chanting it and what are the kinds of attainments? These are the two sections. That's it. So there are two key ideas being presented in this shloka, that somebody is chanting the shloka. The second key idea is that person is getting something. What are they getting? How are they chanting it? That's it. So how are they chanting it? Who is chanting it? Yaha anu aham prajalpati. Aha is a day in Sanskrit. Aharnisham, aha is a day. Anu aham is every single day. Yaha, whoever, the one who, prajalpati. Jalpanam is to utter in a casual sense. Prajalpanam is to utter in a focused sense. Prakrishtena. That pra and vi are upasargas or prefixes that add more emphasis on the activity that is coming after it. Jalpana is casual chatting. Prajalpana is focused utterance. The one who chants, utters this, recites this, Anvaham, every day, when Prabhata came, at the break of dawn, early in the morning, Prabhata Kala. How? Adarena, with reverence, with respect, with devotion. What? Ganesha Pancharatnam, these 5 jewels on Lord Mahaganapati, on Ganesha. How again? Ganeshwaram Hridi Smaran. Smaran is by remembering where? Hridi, in the heart. Whom? Ganeshwara. So by remembering Lord Ganesha in the heart, the one who chants this Ganesha Pancharatna Stotram with reverence early in the morning, every day, what happens? Saha, such a person, achirat, within no time. Chiram is long time. Achiram is in no time, very quickly. Abhyupaiti, begets or attains. What does such a person attain? Arogatam. Roga is disease. Arogatam, freedom from ailments, complete health. Adoshatam. Dosha is pradushan, pradushan, which is pollution. Dosha is that which is impure, that which is faulty, that which is, basically, different kinds of fallacies, different kinds of shortcomings one might have. So, adoshatam, one attains to fulfillment and freedom from impurities. Susahiti. Now, this is in multiple texts that I've referred to as Sahiti is seen as companionship and getting good spouse. That is a valid meaning. Sahita is that which is along with. So they have literally taken it as being along with somebody. Susahiti is good companionship. It's a valid meaning. It can also mean Susahiti. Sahiti is also scholarliness. Sahitya is literature, because it is something, sounds that have layered meanings. Artha sahitam sahityam. So Sahiti is also literature, and Sahiti is that literary prowess. So Susahiti is good scholarliness and profound scholarliness. Suputratam. Putra is progeny, having virtuous children. Samahita ayuhu. Ayu is a lifespan. Samahita is a wholesome lifespan, a long, healthy lifespan. Samahita ayuhu. And Ashta Bhutim. Ashta is 8. Bhuti are powers or attainments or siddhis, one can say. There are different kinds of siddhis. Ashta Bhuti can also be the Anima, Mahima, Garima, Laghima, Ishitva, Vashitva, all of those. The not supernatural, but superhuman. Not superhuman also, but esoteric powers, mystical siddhis are ashtabhutis. But there are also buddhi, balam, yasho, dhairyam, nirbhayatvam, arogatam, ajadyam, vakpatutvam. These 5, which are much more attainable siddhis. These are powers and attainments in the material realm, which are, not esoteric siddhis, but worldly powers one can get, which is intellect, buddhi, balam, strength, yashaha, fame, dhairyam, which is steadfastness, nirbhayatvam, which is courage, fearlessness, arogatam, which is diseaselessness, ajadyam, which is liveliness and no inertia and dullness, freedom from dullness, and vakpatutvam, which is integrity of speech, mastery over speech. So these are other ashtabhutis, but Saha achirat abhyupaiti, the one who does this chant early in the morning, attains to these kinds of arogatam, adoshatam, susahitim, suputratam, samahitayuhu, ashtabhutim, abhyupaiti, saha achirat. Very nice remembrance. This is not like enticing somebody to do the chant, but just being grateful and just acknowledging that this is a powerful chant which bestows these powers. I hope there are no questions here. This is a simple enough expression of what is possible through the chant of this shloka. With that, we finish the chant and learning the 5 jewel-like shlokas of Ganesha Pancharatnam Stotram, composed by Adi Shankaracharya, that is expressed in these lines. Iti. Thus, Shri Shankara Bhagavat Pada Virachitam. Virachitam, that which has been composed, written by Shri Shankara Bhagavat Pada, Lord Adi Shankaracharya, the sage Adi Shankaracharya, by the name Shri Ganesha Pancharatnam Stotram. That is the name of this stotram. Sampurnam. It is complete. So if you have any questions pertaining to these 6 shlokas that we have learned in this session, you can put them in chat. Stay back for some more time. Welcome. I saw Satish ji, welcome. Ishwaran ji, Rukmini ji and Praveen ji are also here. So we'll continue our chat. But I don't know if Nidhi ji was able to join in. I'll share the password on the Zoom on the YouTube live stream once there are any other questions that are answered. Yes, Ina ji, thank you for that suggestion of abbreviation. Vanakkam from Australia. So you are speaking Tamil as well. Wonderful. Zoom link for YouTube members. What is wrong? Let me see. But you're here. You'll be able to join us in just a couple of minutes. Until then, if there are any questions that YouTube people want to type out in chat, please do so. Posts. Where are the posts? Yes. Yeah. So I posted it on YouTube as well. The latest post in community on YouTube, which is accessible by members only, has the password. Nidhi ji, I don't know why you were unable to access it. It is posted. Something wrong with the posting, maybe? Can you see the Ganapataye, Ganapataye, Ganapataye Namaha? Nandini ji, you typed out Ganapataye. The middle one, Ganapataye, is the correct spelling in Kannada. You typed it out in Kannada. In first word, it is you wrote Ganapatiye. No, it's not Ganapatiye. It's Ganapataye. That is the correct spelling. The middle one. The first and the third repetitions of Ganapataye have wrong spelling. Please check. Thank you. Yes, Chandrima ji, I'm glad you had a good time. Thank you so much. Shubhratri. Punarmilamaha. Namaskaram and dhanyawada. Looks like you don't have any questions, guys. So if you want to join us on Zoom, the password for this session is Ratna. Ganesha Pancharatnam Stotram. So I put the password as Ratna. For our Padavali live streams, should I tell the password? No, I will not tell the password. There are public live streams. We have something called Padavali. We have a few more members than our usual Padavali live streams. Padavali is a Sanskrit word game, which is a puzzle where you find Sanskrit words hidden among jumbled grids of letters. The link to access that is in the description again, and it is krida.thesanskritchannel.org/Padavali. The latest Padavali is on Ganesha Pancharatnam Stotram, on how you can find the words inside this stotra in a jumbled grid of letters. Let me show you quickly now that I have an audience. Please stay back. I'll then give you the password to the Zoom session. Okay, give me a couple of minutes so that I can put it up on screen. All right. So this is Padavali. This is the link through which you can access it. krida.thesanskritchannel.org/Padavali. This is the link. And once you go here, this is the grid. If you click on Krida, this is the hint, Ganesha Pancharatna Varnanam. This is 5 descriptions, Varnana's description of Lord Ganesha. If you want an extra hint in English, you can click on this I button. Descriptions of Ganesh from Ganesha Pancharatnam Stotram Adi Shankaracharya. There are 5 such descriptions. You have to drag forward, downward, backward. You can click on this to get instructions. Kim, cha, na. So you see there is something forming here that we found from that you could maybe reminisce from our lesson so far. So see if you can, if you select the correct word, then it turns green. So let me know how quickly, so there is time running. Let me know how quickly you could finish this. For example, let me just do one. Akinchanarti marjanah. So it will turn green once you select it correctly, the whole word. He is the one who marjana, erases arti, the suffering of those who are destitute, who have nothing for themselves. Akinchana. Akinchanarti marjanam. So there's a good way to remember and find words. So make sure that you play this. There are many other puzzles. This is a slightly more topic specific one. But if you go to this archived puzzles, you'll find many others. So there are names of different Upanishads. There are different kinds of flowers in Sanskrit. That is Pushpaguchha. You can play that. So there is Parijataha in the very beginning, and there are many other flower names like this. So, and there exists no other Sanskrit game like this on the internet. So please do play it, and you can support our projects if you wish to. Take up memberships, and you can, yes, like, share and subscribe, guys. Thank you so much for joining. I'm glad. Thank you so much. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका भी. शुभ रात्रि सर्वेभ्यः, and an extremely auspicious Ganesh Chaturthi to all of you. There are some questions. Snehal ji is asking Siddha Kunjika Stotram. Sure. There is a whole playlist on Durga Saptashati. I don't think we have done Siddha Kunjika Stotram. I'm sharing. Sure, I will share it. All right. For others, Shubhratri, Punarmilamaha, Namo Namaha. The password for the Zoom session is Ratna. Oh, I already mentioned it. RATNA. RATNA. The Zoom link is in the description. Namo Namaha.